Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Financial Management e-Learning. Today we will discuss Business Ethics, Corporate Governance, Module 5. So let's start. In business ethics, that says fundamentals of ethics, corporate governance, and business laws, the ethics and business. Now is a module 5, is the continuation of previous module. So today we will learn disclosure required by the law, the concept of independence, accountability, and social responsibility. The CIMA and IFAC Code of Ethics for Professional Accountant. So disclosure required by the laws. In identifying whether confidential information can be disclosed, it is necessary to consider whether any parties would be harmed by such disclosure, whether all relevant information is known and substantiated by the types of disclosure and to whom is to be made. Should understand the circumstances where professional accountant are or may be required to disclose confidential information or when such disclosure may be appropriate. Disclose is required by laws, is authorized by the client or the employer. Okay? Then disclosure is required by law, for example, production document or other provision of evidence in the course of legal processing. It should be disclosed. Disclose the appropriate public authorities, the law that can be coming with the light to the light. Okay? And where required by the law or regulation to disclose confidential information should be disclosed. For example, Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Act, also the US FATCA. Differences in our country, we have also the Totho Odhikar Ain. By that, have to disclose it, but through the proper authority. There is a professional duty, a right to disclose when prohibited, to comply the quality review of a number of body or professional body, to respond to an inquiry or investigation, to protect the professional interest, to comply with technical standards and ethical requirements. Professional accountant may disclose confidential information to third party when need obliged to do so by law or regulation, otherwise not. So disclosure are two types, mandatory and voluntary. Mandatory disclosure as information which must be publicly disclosed to comply with a set of laws or rules. And voluntary information which a company may disclose should it choose to do or so. That's the voluntary. Okay? So mandatory disclosure, that means money laundering, if a court order has been obtained, if it is required to the regulation or regulatory body, financial service, tourism, drug trafficking, and Financial Reporting Council, or Securities and Exchange Commission, Bangladesh Bank, NBR, this is mandatory. okay, or insurance authorities. And voluntary disclosure, if the client has given their consent as an auditor, as an accountant, you can't do it without the permission of your authority. If it is the public interest to do so, or if a member has a defined himself as the court or at a disciplinary hearing. So, okay, the concept of independence, accountability, social responsibility, independence. So what is independence? Look, it is in the public interest and require the CIMA Code of Ethics or IFAC Code of Ethics that the members of assistance engagement teams and the firms be independent in the assurance client. So independence is a vital part. Think the audit point of view, appointment of an auditor, service performed, manner which service performed, rules, regulation, standard followed, auditor independence, acceptance for client, planning the engagement, conducting the audit, report audit findings, and opinion. So there are two key attributes to independence used in connection with the assurance. One, of mind, another in appearance. So in of mind, it is required that the professional accountant has a state of mind that permits a conclusion to the express without being affected by influence that would compromise the professional judgment. That means don't compromise. This allows the individuals to act with integrity and exercise objectivity and professional judgment. This is and in appearance, this is a set of reliant on the view of the responsible and informed third party would conclude a member of the assurance team integrity, objectivity, or professional judgment compromised a significant fact and circumstances were avoided or overlooked. Okay. Professional skepticism, auditors' questions, evaluation, attitude towards evidence. That means management ascertains without sufficient correspondence. Financial trends need to investigation, etc. So it is impossible for defined all situation where independence might be compromised. So it is in the public interest to prepare a conceptual framework requiring firms and members of assurance teams to identify, evaluate, and address risks of the independence. Okay? Accountability. We know it. Accountability. The concept of accountability is that of the professional accountant being responsible to someone and of something or action and being able to explain those actions. It is an important aspect of the profession and of leadership in the wider business environment. Okay? Accountability is also every client and employee tool for whom the professional accountant is providing service. If that accountability fails, the client or employer can seek redress their compliant or disciplinary procedure. Social responsibility. We have the social responsibility. We have the responsibility for local community. We have the responsibility for environment. We have the responsibility to general public, shareholder or investors, employees of workers, co-workers, consumer and customers, government, and the country. The professional accountant has a wider role to fulfill their public duty, which is to be aware their social and corporate responsibility. In uphold the principles, code of ethics, individual, the social responsibility to behave with integrity, respect, and due care, we have to maintain it. The CIMA and IFAC Code of Ethics for Professional Accountant. If you go the CIMA website and also IFAC website, you'll see there lot of resources waiting for you. Being a profession, you have to visit that sites. Based on IFAC Code of Professional Accountant, reflecting the contribution, CIMA made the preparation of the IFAC Code as the CIMA Code of Ethics for Professional Accountant. Okay, so look here: ethics, public interest, objectivity, due care, professional behavior, responsibility, sustainability, confidentiality, accountability, competence, and integrity. Okay, so the code, it shall be split into the three parts. This part one, general applicable of the code, professional accountant and public practice, and professional accountant in business. Just been three part A, B, C. So general applicable, this converting the instruction and the fundamental principle of integrity, objectivity, professional competence. Okay, and professional accountant in the public practice for the auditors issue identified that being the relevant accountant in public practice, such as professional appointment, conflict of interest, secondary, second option, fee types, etc., etc., custodian and engagement. And professional accounting business covers issue the potential conflict, preparation, and reporting of the information, acting with sufficient extra practice, financial interest, and judgment. So, Code of Ethics for Professional Accountant, that means professional competence and due care, integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, and independence. The IFAC Code of Ethics. The Code of Ethics is a three-part that already we discussed. Identify this as the compliance with the fundamental practice, evaluate the significance of the threat identified, apply safeguard when necessary to eliminate the threat or reduce them to the acceptable level. Okay, so IFAC, Professional Code, Rules of Professional Conduct, and IFAC Code of Ethics. Rules of Professional Conduct is a fundamental principle: integrity, objectivity, and independence, confidentiality, conflict of interest, and a principle under depends overdue fee, etc. So it's for today. So what we learn today disclosure required by the law. The concept of independence, accountability, social responsibility, CIMA and IFAC Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants. So it's for today. Thank you, with professional. All you are the professional. Thank you, with Financial Management eLearning. We'll meet soon with my next module. Inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Take care.